hiring manager is the ultimate decision maker as to which candidate will eventually get the role. The HR manager, in the vast majority of cases, is the department manager who is in need of the position that they're hiring for. Because the process is when a hiring manager or a department manager identifies a specific manpower need, what they do is they send a request to HR, they then meet, they talk about the role, they formulate the job description, assuming the job description is not that present, and then once a job description is complete, they send it to higher management for approval. Once approved, HR then does sourcing and recruitment. And then as I mentioned, HR acts as gatekeeper. They send the most qualified candidates to hiring manager. Hiring manager then decides which candidate would be hired for the role. What would be the key metrics of the hiring manager? The first one would be, again, the relevant skills of the candidate, relevant or relative to the position that they're applying for. So since they're most likely the most technical person in the room in terms of what skills are required, then they have the best judgment to identify whether or not your skills and competencies are at par with the level that they're looking for, recruiting for that specific position. But also, they will also test whether or not you're good for team dynamics. Remember, these hiring managers, they're the people who get to interact with team members on a day-to-day basis. They've already set a way of doing things. They already have a culture within their team, a style of communication, a style of leadership, a style of delivering things. And so it's them who would be able to best determine whether or not a candidate would actually fit in that particular position. Whether they're looking for someone who's a conformist or a nonconformist, someone who's an extrovert or an introvert, or a combination of all of those things. It's the hiring manager that's able to decide and determine basically those success metrics. But at the end of the day, the hiring manager, in concurrence with the HR, whether it's an HR manager or the recruiter, basically discusses the points of each of the candidates, and then identify and decide which candidate would be hired for the role.